Class exercise, filter quilt. The course objectives for this class exercise are to learn about filters and how to apply them, to create an effect with an artistic filter, to use the distort and noise filters, and to add unique effects with the stylized filters. So included on your sheet here is a list of some of the categories of filters found in Adobe Photoshop, as well as their use. For this class exercise, you will start by opening the filterquilt.psd file. This file is located in D2L under your assignments for week 8. Once you have downloaded that file and opened it in Photoshop, you can go ahead and get started. You will complete these tasks. Download the filterquilt file.psd. Save this Photoshop file to a folder on your hard drive. You also will need to download the class exercise filter quilt worksheet. This is a PDF document, so you want to open this PDF document in either Acrobat or you can print it. Once you get into Photoshop, you will control-click on an individual layer's thumbnail to make the content of that layer an active selection. Each layer has a descriptive name that states a filter that is available in Photoshop. You're going to apply the filter given as that layer name. This might require that you do a bit of exploration in the filter menu. I want you to experiment with various options for each filter if applicable. Make sure to note the settings that you are selecting. Complete the appropriate box then in the grid on the filter quilt worksheet by writing the exact settings you selected for that specific filter. I want you to note those filters without the ellipsis after the name, that's the ... those will not have a dialog box to enter settings. So those squares in your worksheet should indicate that no options were available for that specific filter. This is the filter quilt worksheet. So this is what you will want to either download and print or download, save on your hard drive, and then open it in Acrobat. I want you to note if you'd open it in D2L and start typing in your settings without saving it first on your hard drive, you will lose everything that you type, and I don't want that to happen. So make sure that you're actually saving it on your hard drive, or you can go ahead and print it and then handwrite your settings in each one of the grids, and then either scan, photograph, or give me the hard tangible worksheet, the hard copy. If there is a filter for which there are no specific options, meaning there's no ellipses, the ... and the effect or the filter is applied immediately, you will need to document that in the box. This is potentially what your final product will look like. Now note, everyone is going to apply different filter settings for those that have that as an option. So it will not look exactly like this, but it will look something similar to this. Your end product absolutely needs to be uploaded as a Photoshop document. I will not accept a JPEG. I need your Photoshop document in the Dropbox. Let me walk you through the steps once again for this filter quilt class exercise. This is the filter quilt file.psd that you will open. This is located in D2L right here in the assignment section of week 8. When you open this file, you will see a layer that has a filter name listed, and there are quite a few layers. Basically, each square here in this document is a layer. You may or may not still see the grid, which are guides. If you don't see them, not a big deal. The squares do start at the top left. So in this case, what you need to do, as the instructions say, you're going to control click an individual layer's thumbnail to make the contents of that layer an active selection. So if you command or control click right here on the layer thumbnail, what will happen is an active selection will be applied for all of the content on that specific layer, which happens to be that top left square in the grid. Once you have that selected, then you can go ahead and apply the filter. So I'll give you the first one. You're going to go up to the filter menu, and many of these you're going to have to look either in the filter gallery or in any of these menu items down here. Well, this first one is clouds, so I know that clouds happens to be under render. You may want to use your class notes as reference, as many of these are listed there. So once I click clouds, notice there is no ellipsis. There is no ... after clouds. So that means it's going to be applied immediately upon clicking it. I have no control. So in my worksheet now, in that top corner that says clouds, I'm going to write no options available for specific settings, or however you want to word it, just to let me know that it applied it immediately and you were not given the chance to alter any settings. So as you continue on now, you're going to control click or command click on the next box and then go ahead and find that filter and apply it. And you're going to do this for every single box, every single layer on down. There is a note here. If I double click the note with my move tool, you'll notice that my notes panel opens up, and you can see I did leave a note for you to remind you. You need to control click each layer to make it a selection and apply the filter to each individual layer listed as the layer name. Make sure that you do not forget to fill in the worksheet. Half of your points for this exercise will come from the worksheet being completed and submitted as well. When you do submit your final, you're going to submit your final Photoshop document. So I want the .psd. I also want your worksheet that lists all your specific settings. Have fun exploring.